Study, reflect, and listen to the Lord. Let Him direct your steps. That's how you treasure each day. All right, so I have another question.
Okay.
Take your time on answering this. I have no idea, what I'm even asking here, but I wanted to see if you'd share what type of training helped prepare you for your missions that you did. Now, physically, you said you were a runner.
Right.
What other kinds of physical stuff? What did you have to do?
For me, not much.
So many push-ups or something, or
basic training is where they teach you how to maintain yourself.
Okay.
And basic training is 8 weeks of used to be complete hell.
Okay.
They break everything, your muscles, your spirit, your mind, everything, and they rebuild you to be able to maintain physically what you need to do. Mentally, on the other hand, the first time you go, there's no way you can train for it.
Okay.
None. You have to learn to put your priorities straight. The common sense in the civilian world is, I need to feed my family, I need to take care of my roof, I need this, I need that, I need this. The first time you go somewhere, and the only thing you got is a 75-pound rock on your back, and that's your life for 30 days. You learn what's important. There's no really way to prepare mentally for everything that you give up. No cell phone, no media, no nothing, no contact with the outside world. And you're getting shot at, or you're watching people get blown apart, or you're told that at all costs you defend this even with your life. And mentally it's hard to get a grasp on it until after you went through your first one. After you go through your first one, then you never really forget. You just drop back into that mode. You know what you have to do, and you hope everybody around you has the same goal.
Wow. I cannot imagine trying to process.
It's difficult, but it gets easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, because you do. It's survival.
Right.
You got to survive. So, have you been able to prepare or deal with it? Have you found peace spiritually?
When I got out of the service, I was very mentally screwed up. I had severe PTSD. I was on 6 different types of medications. I was going to a psychiatrist. I was going to a hypnotist. I was doing this. I was doing that. And nothing was helping. I was very angry, very physical, very broken mentally. My daughter, Chantel, invited me to go to school to do a talk to the kids. It was military history. And I don't know how she talked me into it. I didn't want to do it. I knew what kind of person I was, but I couldn't stop myself from being that kind of person. I went to her history class, and I took some of the stuff that I thought kids would want to see. And when I got in there, talking to the kids, they was, 14 and 15-year-old kids. I get in there and start talking, and there's some things that I have a hard time talking about. Sure. And these kids were asking innocent questions. And I opened up. I told them about some of the missions I had, told them the things you have to look out for, and it helped. When I left the classroom, the kids were just standing there wide-eyed. They didn't know what to think after I left, because they'd never seen that perspective of what a person actually sees and what actually goes through their head. I was calmer. I was more relaxed. I could start talking to my kids a lot more about what I'd seen, and it gave them a better grasp on why I was the way I was.
Yeah.
After doing it for Chantel, I went to Kylie's class, which is my oldest daughter, and talked to some of the kids. I went to my oldest son's school and talked to some of them kids, and I'd say within a year I was off all my meds. I was calmer, I wasn't blowing up, so you have to find a way to deal with it. And some people can't talk about it. Some people start to talk about it and they get very angry, very hostile, want to leave. So each individual person just has to find their own way to deal with it and do what they need to do.
I'm so thankful you found that way. And I'm sure it's a lifelong journey, right? I mean,
you never
it
lose
probably
it.
changes.
Yeah,
right?
you never lose the memories, the faces. It's just one of those that you have to deal with.
I hope. My grandpa served in World War II, and he doesn't open up. He doesn't share.
And some people can't.
Yeah. I think it's just somebody's trying to block, so I don't know. What suggestions do you have for young men and women who may be considering going into the service?
The military is, regardless of the branch, the military is very different. It's a different world, especially nowadays. You've got computer technology around you everywhere, and life in the civilian world is, for the most part, easy. When you go to basic, nothing's easy. You don't have anything to help you do anything that's going to tear you down, regardless of the branch. And forget everything you've been told. It doesn't matter if you listen to a drill sergeant before you go in. He's not there to run that show. Each drill sergeant has their own way of breaking you down. So just go in there with the mentality that do what you need to do, listen to what you're told, do it, and shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more you fight and argue, the longer it's going to take and the more painful it is.
So I know sometimes I've heard that some kids, the recruiters have told some of the kids, giving them false promises that they can't make.
If it's not on paper, it's not there.
Okay. So you can't just trust that.
No.
I wonder, are there specialty services, special skills that they could be working on through their high school years? Like math or English, or it doesn't matter, it's more the...
Well, schooling, regardless, is very important, regardless whether you're going to the military or not. As far as the schooling, I mean, it depends on what job you want to do. What do you want to do with your life? What do you want the experience in? If you want to be a doctor on the outside world, don't go in as a combat technician. It's not going to help you when you get out.
Okay.
So if you want to be a doctor when you get out, go in as a medic. If you want to be a mechanic when you get out, go in as a mechanic.
Okay.
The military is a great way to get the experience that you want. It's also a great way to learn whether you're good at it or not.
Okay.
As long as you've got your GT score, which is your, it's basically your SATs for the military.
Okay.
And they grade you on your schooling knowledge. And if it's high enough to go into a certain MOS, military occupational skill, then you can change into that MOS, get that job, see if you like it, if not. And it gives you a wider background. Just because you join as one thing doesn't mean you're going to stay that thing. I have 13 different identifiers. I never found what I like.
Really?
Except for, I like being gone.
Okay.
I have to say. I volunteered several times to go to different places, and you had to have a certain skill to go there, so I learned that skill.
Sounds like you like the challenge too.
I do. If I'm scared of doing something, I'm gonna do it.
There you go. Just to prove.
Right. I'm scared to death of heights. I
Okay.
can't stand being up above 15 foot. So I went to rappel school.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm jumping off of rocks that are 300-400 foot in the air and
Wow.
sliding down ropes. Now I
Yeah.
still can't do it free falling. That's not good for me. But we free climb, we rappel in, and I jumped out of helicopters on ropes. It was a blast. I'm still scared to death of heights, but
So me too. So
I
I
can do
stay
it.
away from ladders, and I'm not going to go rock climbing.
If
But
you-
that's okay.
if you're scared to do something, it stops you from doing something that you might enjoy. So,
You don't let fear stop you.
no.
What a way to live.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for more from Nation Station.